Hello guys. In America, people have been obsessed with the man of colour on the left who was killed by a police officer on the right. And there have been street riots and all manner of problems, okay? But while America's been obsessed with that particular person, who, in my personal view, that's the man of colour, George Floyd, was, in my personal opinion, a complete scumbag. Because he, I believe, went round somebody's house with a shotgun and tried to mug them and rob them, and went to jail for it, and went to jail for other nasty things. We in Britain have been obsessed with a rather different man of colour. This is the person of colour that we in Britain have been obsessed with instead. Every year, the BBC have an award to celebrate who has been good in sport and other things, okay? And somebody is chosen as BBC Sports Personality of the Year, okay? A panel decides on who the, I believe, I could be wrong on this, I believe the panel decides on who is nominated for it, and then the public choose, via voting, who they think should be the Sports Personality of the Year, and that person then becomes the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. This year, Lewis Hamilton, that's the driver you've just seen, was named BBC Sports Personality of the Year.
The 2020 BBC Sports Personality of the Year is Lewis Hamilton.
Congratulations, Lewis. I think you won it 6 years ago. It's your second trophy. Would you please like to say a few words for us?
I really want to say thank you for everyone that's called in and voted for me. I really wasn't expecting this, knowing that there's just so many great contenders. But I think we're all winners. And I really want to send a Merry Christmas to everyone. I know it's been such an unusual year, but all the frontline workers, all the children around the world, please try and stay positive through this difficult time. I'm sending everyone positivity. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Furthermore, after that, he has now been awarded a knighthood, which he will receive next year. I say next year, it is currently still 2020 at this moment in time, okay? But within a few hours, it will be 2021, okay? And because of his astonishing sporting achievements, as the officially the best Formula One racer of all time, in terms of the number of wins that he's acquired. They have decided to not the establishment, you know, the government, or I don't know, whoever decides, but not the government, but whoever decides the honours, okay, in Britain, has decided that Lewis Hamilton will be awarded a knighthood next year, okay? And usually it's what is known as the New Year's Honours List, okay? The Queen's New Year's Honours List, okay? And officially, these are officially provided by the Queen. But unofficially, a committee decides who will and won't receive such awards, okay? And because he is officially the greatest Formula One racer of all time, he also happens to be British. He was born in Britain. And that makes him, as I said, that they decided to reward him for his sporting success, okay? Put simply, for anybody out there who doesn't understand this, many people have probably heard of Michael Schumacher, okay? Michael Schumacher was very famous as one of the greatest racing drivers of all time. And before Lewis Hamilton overtook his record, Michael Schumacher was genuinely, officially the greatest Formula One driver until this year, when Lewis Hamilton officially overtook him. Now, I'm aware there are many people who will argue whether he is genuinely the best or not, because some people would argue that they weren't driving the same cars, that car technology has improved over the years, and the only way to really know would be to get Michael Schumacher and, you know, I don't know, Lewis Hamilton to race each other. That's not possible even if they wanted to, because Michael Schumacher is now, I believe, severely disabled because of a skiing accident that he was involved in. I believe he's struggling to do things, so he could not even drive. He probably couldn't even drive at all now, probably. Never mind drive to anywhere near the level that he used to be at. So it's not possible to fairly easily determine it. But if you just look at the number of wins alone, and that is all you look at, then Lewis Hamilton is officially the greatest of all time. He also happens to be of mixed race, and while America, as I said, has been celebrating a total scumbag who died at the hands of the police, we have been celebrating a true sporting hero and a genuine role model for people of colour. Britain, where people of colour are amazing. Well done, Lewis. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, and by the way, I've just thought, for those of you who don't really know, a knighthood is generally provided by the monarchy, usually the Queen. Often people who receive a knighthood have to kneel down, I believe, and then a sword is put over each shoulder of the person being knighted. They then stand up, and at that point they're then officially a knight okay, and they get what is called a KBE, which means Knight of the British Empire. There are some people who believe the title should be changed because some people believe that the empire was racist, and a lot of people are ashamed of the empire. I personally think that the British Empire was wrong, just because of the way we took over countries by force, rather than through diplomacy and them wanting this. So I'm not personally proud of the British Empire because we basically enslaved people against their will. But that differs from the Commonwealth today, which is basically a democratic and voluntary version of the British Empire, where basically countries voluntarily remain in the Commonwealth. Okay, most of them are former, I believe, former empire countries, possibly all of them, I don't know. And but today, any country can leave the Commonwealth if they wish to. We do not force people militarily against their wish to remain in the Commonwealth. We do not force countries to remain in it. Whereas in the past, we just immorally, in my view, took over countries and enslaved people. But nonetheless, a knighthood is one of the highest honours you can receive in Britain. Okay? And not many people get them each year. It is often provided for or areas of sport or entertainment or charity. Okay. Lewis got his knighthood because of his sporting achievements, okay? As officially the greatest Formula One racer of all time. Okay? Now, I'm going to give some extra info here, right? I was once in what I would call a racist Skype group, okay, where they don't really have a very high opinion of people of colour, and it was an American group mostly, full of people who, for whatever reason, don't have that high of an opinion of people of colour, okay. I don't share their views, they know it, but that's another matter, okay. And I was talking, and they did not know about this person, okay, about Lewis Hamilton, and I said to them, and they were talking about how brown people are being used in acting to take over white roles or things like that. And I said to them something along the lines of, well, how would you feel if, for example, a mixed race actor appeared in a film as a Formula One racer and one of the greatest Formula One racers of all time in a movie? And the racists in there said they thought that wouldn't be right. They thought it wouldn't be realistic. They said it wouldn't be realistic because all they knew, remember, were white people winning it and white people taking part in the sport generally. And they said it would not be a realistic film. And that they thought a white actor should play the role of, a Formula One racer, because they didn't think a person of colour playing that role would be realistic. They were absolutely shocked when I told them about Lewis Hamilton and that he was the greatest of all time and that he happened to be brownish. Right? They were absolutely shocked. And I said it would not be unrealistic at all, because the greatest of all time officially was of mixed race and looked somewhat brown. I'm using the word brown here. Officially we use the word black. I'm using the word brown because he's half black, half white, which to me makes him look more like brown than black. But anyway, if anybody's offended by that, I apologise. So there you go. It's good to sometimes have people of colour, as Americans call them, right, that are positive role models, rather than some of the scum who are celebrated in America like George Floyd. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.